Folks, how you doing tonight? Papa Joe here. I'm just sitting here debating on making this video. Done made another one. I got into a conversation with a feller today. I talked to a few people in the day, so it wasn't the same one as the other video. He was, actually the conversation was yesterday. I am misspoken there. He was telling me about a situation that he's not really a part of, but it is affected his family, so to speak. He has some people that he knows that are good, upstanding Christian folk. Anyway, that's what they'll tell you. He knows them from back in the day. They're kinfolk. And he knows back in the day they was as wild as any of us. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know? They got their act together, supposedly, and started going to church. Good thing. But now, they got that better than thou syndrome going. It's gotten to a point, from the way I understand it, that they will sure chastise you for what you're doing wrong and anybody else. And it has gotten to a point
you have 1 hour and 1 minute of remaining drive time.
Wanted to make sure I was off duty there. I've been known to forget. One member of their family they was helping out let him and his daughter stay there. Daughter's like 4. And Thanksgiving morning, they knew the guy had smoked a joint. So on Thanksgiving morning, they kick him and his 4-year-old daughter to the streets. Huh. That's being pretty thankful. Not to mention thoughtful of others. Now, I grant you, I'm not crazy about somebody smoking dope around me. Been there and done it. You know, I ain't gonna lie. But I don't think I'm gonna kick a grown man and a 4-year-old to the curb over smoking a joint. It's one of them like, wow, really moments. Things escalated that day where the father wound up going to jail and the 4-year-old daughter, she went into whatever you call it, where the child protection people come and get them. These better than thou Christians made a big to-do about going down and getting a 4-year-old. And the way it was told to me is that this individual thought that was the plan all along. Huh. So he was asking my thoughts on the whole matter. Well, I do not agree with people smoking a lot of pot, especially around children, or getting drunk a lot, especially around children. But I happen to live in the real world. I know these things happen. So I frown on that. But on such a holiday, when we're supposed to be thankful for our family, our blessings, what we have, sure is a rough time to kick some kinfolk out to the curb. I really have a problem with that. I don't know all the details. Neither do you. All I have is one side of one person's story. Is it tainted? I don't know. All I can do is talk about what's been told to me. And what I can tell you is that the Bible plainly tells us that we've been here on earth so long that our mind, our brain is foggy. We don't understand a lot of stuff like we're supposed to understand a lot of stuff. The only way that you can get where you understand it is to get Him into your life and into your heart and let Him start clearing the fog away. Period. That's how I see it. He has plainly told us not to set in a judgment on people like that. Are we supposed to judge? Yes. In a righteous way of judging. But it's nowhere in the Bible can I recall a story where Jesus thought somebody was messing up and He set them up and had them get busted by the man. I can't think of a single story. I can't think of a single story where the prostitute, the thief, the blind guy, the sick people, all these people that came to Jesus, I can't think of a single story where He said, you're not worth it. You're already too far bad. You're gone. Forget it. No, I don't want to help you. No, I'm going to set you up. None of that rings a bell for me. I can't remember none of them stories. I definitely don't remember Jesus running around and beating on His chest and say, look at me. Maybe that was with the story where He was telling us how much greater He was than we were. Look at me. I'm perfect. You're not. Huh. Seem to be a lot of them stories I'm missing. Now, I do recall some stories of compassion where the sick woman touched the hem of His gown, or whatever they called it, and He felt the power flow out of Him, and He said, who touched me? And she said, I did. And He said, then by your faith, you are healed. He didn't say, yo, policeman, come arrest her. What about cutting a hole in the roof and lowering the crippled guy down there? He didn't say, yo, they just destroyed this roof, lock them all up. He said, by your faith, you're healed. Roll your mat up and go. Huh. What about the prostitute that they brought before him. And they was asking what should be done with her. That's when he got down there and he started writing in the sand. Didn't tell us what he wrote. Let the first one without sin cast the first stone. When he looks up, they're all gone. What did he tell her? Go, sin no more. Those are the lessons I remember. I don't seem to remember a lot of these lessons that man puts on us down here. The main moral of this story is that if you're going to pretend to be a Christian, you need to clear your mind of earthly things. And the only way to do that is invite him into your life wholeheartedly. That don't mean just go to church on Sunday or on the holidays or I watch some of Papa Joe's videos. That means that you need to have a serious talk with him, and with a pure heart, a whole heart, you need to invite him into your life. And then you need to talk to him a lot, every day. You need to work on that relationship with God. And if you'll do this, then he will come into your life and into your mind and help you to understand stuff. There's those that say, oh, but Papa Joe, you understand so well. Do you know why? As much as I've talked to you, do you know why? It ain't me. I'm just a old dumb hillbilly truck driver. I'm a sinner from way back. But I invited him into my life and into my head. And he helps me to determine stuff every day. Whenever I go to speak to y'all, he sent me a helper. Remember that? Stay here until you receive the helper. I'm sending you a helper. That's for all of us. Remember? Get baptized of the water and then you get baptized of the Spirit. Have you been baptized by both? Are you having daily conversations with him? Are you sincerely inviting him into your life, into your heart, into your head? Are you talking to him about any decisions? Before them people kicked that man and that little girl to the street, do you think they had a conversation with God and asked his thoughts on it? Lord, put it on my heart. What should I do here? Do you think that they did that and God told them to kick them to the curb? Those are the kind, if that's what happened, those are the hypocrites that you hear so many people talk about. Those are the kind that turn people away from God. Those are the kind that Paul warned us about. Don't be one of them. Don't be one of them. That's a crying shame the way that all came down. If that's how it came down, that's nothing but wrong. Any way you spell it. And you know what? One day, they'll be held accountable. They'll have to answer for that. My understanding, the father figure could be facing some very serious jail time. So instead of reaching out a helping hand that we're all told to do, they made the fist. It's amazing. A few muscles. Let me help you, or let me hurt you. Huh. It's kind of amazing, ain't it? Hold out your hand. Let's help one another. Let's quit beating each other down. Whether it's over politics, religion, whatever. Let's quit beating each other down. How about if we reach out the hand and help them up? Y'all remember, good Lord loves you. So do I. Y'all have a blessed evening now. Good night.